Hey friends, Sleepy here, and welcome to another episode of my weekly gaming playlist series. It's Friday again, so it's time for me to let you guys know about the games I've been playing during the week. I'll give you guys my thoughts and opinions on these games, whether I think you guys should check them out or not. Of course, I'd love to hear your guys' thoughts and your opinions on the games I shared with you today. Let me know if you played them before, maybe there's something you liked about them, maybe there's something you didn't like about them. I'd also like to hear about the games you guys are currently playing, as it gives me ideas and new games to check, so I do appreciate each week when you guys are sharing the games with me you're playing. And if you guys have a recommendation on a game you think I might enjoy, let me know, as I'm always looking for new games to play and experience. This week I got two games to share with you, one for the PlayStation 1 and a new game I just started playing for the Wii U. So we'll start off with PlayStation 1. It's a continuation from last week, and that is the Darkstone game, an amazing classic isometric action RPG. Now, back in the day, even today, people kind of called this the poor man's Diablo, as it had a similar play style, being an action RPG and being isometric top-down view. Now, it doesn't have as many of the bells and whistles and thrills that Diablo does, but it's still a really fun game that I really enjoy. So I'll read you guys some stuff from the back. The once peaceful world of Uma is living under the dark shadow of the dragon Drax. So there is a cool dragon that's the final boss in the game. Evil is spreading like a virus, and only you can stop it. Look deep inside yourself. Is there a dragon slayer within? An immersive RPG with vivid graphics and addictive gameplay. 8 playable characters and 32 environments. More than 200 enemies and interactive characters. More than 30 types of weapons and 32 different spells. So it does have a huge variety of enemies, huge variety of weapons. And you have 4 different classes you can play as. There's 4 males, 4 females. So you do get a nice variety of kind of characters that you want to play as. I'm playing as a wizard, as I'm a huge fan of mages and magic characters and spells and stuff. And I'm really having fun. I'm getting really far in this game. I'm getting close to the end now, and the enemies have gotten super difficult. That's the one thing about this game, is the further along you get, the more difficult the game gets. So you do have to grind killing enemies. One of the good things is that enemies do keep respawning in areas, so you can keep killing them over and over to level up. And I recently got a new fireball spell, which has been very helpful in defeating some of these new, more powerful enemies. And now I'm starting to kick some ass again, which is great, as I just learned this in and I think it was level 19 or 20. I found this new fireball spell in the level, and now I'm starting to kick some ass, and I'm really looking forward to getting further in the game. So let's check out Darkstone. Hey friends, today we're taking another look at Darkstone. It's a really fun action RPG that I love playing. I've had it on the PlayStation 1 for many years now, and I finally want to go through and beat this. I've played it multiple times through, but I've never actually taken the time to beat it. And I finally decided to stick through it and beat it from the last time that I played it a few years ago. Really enjoying the title. Definitely think you guys should check it out, especially if you're a fan of action RPGs like I am. This does get quoted as kind of like the poor man's Diablo, but it's still a fantastic game in its own right. It's a pretty bare bones RPG, as it's not going to have all the bells and whistles of modern games, but it still is one game that helped define the action RPG genre with PlayStation 1. I have a variety of
characters you can create. You can get a warrior, you can create an Amazon, you can be a wizard, which I love to be, a sorceress, you can be an assassin, you can be a thief, you could be a monk, or a priestess. So you have a variety of characters to play as, and they all have their own strengths and weaknesses, their attributes, their strength, their health, their mana, speed, you know, hit points, armor. They all have their own strengths and weaknesses. I've gotten pretty far in the game as well, so let's continue. I'm currently on level 19, but I've gotten all the way down to level 20. And so I've gotten really far into the game. And what I really like about this game is that it has a pool of quests that it picks from, and you randomly get assigned to you. So when you play this game, if you play it a second time, it'll never play the exact same. You may have a couple quests that are the same, but they always are in different orders for different levels that you're going to get. And there's a little group of quests that you could get assigned. So no two games will ever play the same, which is really cool. The game also has difficulty option, so it does have replayability where you can then replay the game on a harder difficulty where the enemies are even stronger. There's a ton of enemy variety in this game, and the further along you get, the tougher they get. So you can zoom the camera out. I did forget to mention last week when I talked about this game that you can press the Y button to change your camera perspective so you can be closer, but then you can pick one that's even a little bit further out, which is really cool. Also, as my buddy Dean had mentioned about the aspect ratio being really stretched out, you can go into your TV setting if you have a TV like mine. Oop, we don't want the source thing, we need the menu button. And you can adjust the picture size to be its native 4:3. So if you want to get the game to look proper, you know, you'll have to have the borders on the side. But you'll have the true aspect ratio of the game here, as you can see. And my character just recently got this new fireball spell that I learned down here on level 19, and the game is finally starting to get a little easier for me now that I'm able to level up, because I am playing a wizard character and they're one of the more difficult ones to play as. So you have a cool menu system. You have track of your level, so I'm level 31, but your character also ages as you level up, so I'm age 30. Once your character gets old, your character's stats will start to degrade, and you can actually die if you get too old, which is a really interesting aspect to an RPG game. So you have to find elixirs of youth, which you can then take 5 years off your life for drinking. You can buy them or find them. Especially in the later stages of the game, you'll find them. You have all your different stats over there. You have your XP bar that keeps track, how much gold you currently have, your armor rating, all that kind of stuff. You have a bag where you can carry certain stuff you find, like different weapons and stuff, the crystals, and then you have your mana potions, health potions. You have scrolls, which are basically for non-magic characters to able to do a one-time spell by using scrolls, which is pretty cool. Variety of armor pieces and stuff to wear, amulets. It does have a decent amount of things to wear. So you can have an amulet, you can have a helmet, another amulet, so you can wear 2 amulets. Your character can wear 4 rings that have various abilities to them, which is cool. You can also dual-wield weapons if your character is able to, like have a sword and shield or 2 swords. You can have 2-handed weapons, and then you have an armor piece that your character can equip, and then above you'll have your stats based on the equipment you're wearing. There's a variety of spells since I am a mage, so you have 4 different areas of 8 spells, and each block of things you can unlock. And there's my fireball spell, and it does 31 to 63 damage. It costs 8 mana to deal out. So there are a variety of spells that your character can learn, especially being a mage. You know, melee is not your kind of deal. You know, melee is for the last resort, or certain enemies in the game that are immune to magic. You might have to use melee weapon, but mostly we're a ranged character using spells and stuff. And then you also have skills you can unlock, like identification, so I can identify my own weapons, because you will find weapons in the game that you can't identify if you don't have this ability, and so you have to go to the town and have Madame Irma reveal it for you. You're learning, this is your skill for learning and getting more XP. Recharging, I'm able to recharge my magical items, because items in this game that are magical do have a charge to them, and it can run out over time. If you don't have that ability, you have to go back to town and have the wizard there recharge them for you. Communion. Lycanthropy, you can actually turn into a werewolf, which is a pretty cool skill. Detection, so you can detect bombs, traps, and what's in chests and stuff, which is pretty useful. And meditation for you to heal and stuff like that. So you do have a variety of skills to go through. Game has a decent thing for the maps or the levels when you go through. As you move through the world, it'll actually unlock the map for you, and if there's anything important, like distance tells you where the mine is, you'll see it. If there's anything locked, you'll have little red doors that say that that is an area you have not been in yet. And then it'll tell you how to get to different levels, like this goes to level 20, and then there's a one to go back to level 18. So there is a variety of stuff to go through, hazards and stuff you'll find in the world, like the acid and stuff, so you do have to watch out for that. There are things that can happen to your character, like you can get poisoned, so you take poison damage, things like that. So you can get burned too if you get attacked by fire. So there's some interesting elements to the game as well. Enemies will respawn as well. And it can get kind of dark at times, especially playing on an HD TV with these ones. So I have a light spell that I use, but you can see it can get pretty damn dark down in these dungeons without... These little Amazons, for example, here, see, they're immune to magic, so they only get 1 damage. So that's why I have a sword.
Please help. I do not have enough mana.
Try to get rid of that damn snake. I don't know, my buddy Cat's Games, whatever, was asking about the spell damage and how it seems like you have to be directly on, which you do. You have to be able to line up your spells, because enemies can dodge them by not hitting them just right. But there's also like an invisible dice roll going on with how much damage you're going to do based on your attack, your abilities, and then your enemies with their defense that they have, whether what kind of armor, things they're wearing, that kind of thing. So it's an interesting little fun action RPG that I definitely recommend you guys check out. Of course, if you were to play this on a PlayStation 2 through the component cables, you could get a better quality picture. Or if you played it on...
Please help.
You can see my new spell here does really good damage. But if you play this on a CRTV, it would look better, because I'm playing on an HD TV, so it can get kind of messed up. And also, if you see I change the aspect ratio, the characters will look a little bit more normal. I'm used to playing in 16:9 mode, so it doesn't really bother me. But I know some people it'll really bug you, so you can go into your setting on these TVs and change them from 16:9 to 4:3. Just it comes up to your own personal preference. Also, if you were to play this game on PlayStation 3, because all PlayStation 3s are backwards compatible with PS1 games. Not everybody knows that. So if you were to play this on the PS1 or the PlayStation 3, you would get a little bit of upscale graphics from the power of the PlayStation 3 itself. And the game would run faster loading time and stuff. But it's definitely a fun game I think you guys should check out. It's not very expensive. It's pretty cheap, like a $10 or less game. Not very hard to find. And it'll be a lot of fun, especially if you like action RPGs. I absolutely love them, and I can't wait to finally beat this one. You have an overworld that you can go through to where you find the different quests, and then there's also a town that you can go to, which I can show you guys the town real quick by using that spell. And what I like is this game does have these magic doors, so you can teleport right back to town to sell stuff, and then when you go back through the portal, bring you right back where you were at, so it gets you right back in the action. You don't have to actually take the time to leave the dungeon, walk all the way back to town, and walk back to the dungeon. So it does have a fast travel, which is really cool. I like having fast travel in games, as it saves you a lot of unnecessary traveling times. And then here you'll have your various NPCs, where you can upgrade your skills. The wizard here, Master Emmerich, he can you can buy spells from him. He can recharge things for you, give you quests. You can buy food because your character does need to eat as well. There is a hunger meter. If they start getting too hungry, they'll start losing health. And then you have a blacksmith, which you can sell the stuff that you've been finding out in the world. So that's how you build up your money. And then also, you do want to repair your weapons. If you don't have the ability to repair them, come back here and have them, because every weapon has so much durability. If the durability runs out, the weapon is destroyed, or the helmet is destroyed, and it's gone forever. So you want to make sure you get them repaired before they get damaged. You can also come to him, and he can upgrade stuff for you for gold and make them stronger for you, which is definitely good, especially as you get further along into the game. You also have a cool menu here where you can rest if you want to heal up. You can look at the places you visited, and it'll give you a list of where you've been to within the last so many minutes. You can record messages. You can save the game. You can adjust the configuration and stuff, and then quit the game. And then the saving, I did want to show you guys, has have a decent amount of save. Just be careful with the memory card that you do not accidentally pull it out when it's saving like this, because you can actually corrupt the save file if you're not careful. This game is notorious for save files getting messed up, so you want to be careful when the game is saving and loading not to mess with the PlayStation at all. Don't bump the console or anything like that, because if you were to mess it up, you can actually mess up the save file. I actually have a backup of this, and on one of my memory cards I accidentally pulled the PlayStation down with the controller. I wasn't paying attention, and because of that, it messed up the saving and screwed up the save file. So just a warning there, but it's definitely one I think you guys should check out. Really fun action RPG. It's really cheap, and like I said, you know, you can change the aspect ratio if you're playing on a big screen TV like I am, and you can get better picture quality depending on what TV you're playing on and the console you're using. But definitely think you guys should check this out.
Alright, I hope you guys enjoyed that look at Darkstone. Fantastic action RPG. I absolutely love it. Really good game, getting really far in it. Definitely gets really brutal towards the end, but I definitely think you guys should check it out. Now, of course, you guys know I mentioned in the video about the aspect ratio that the game will look a lot better if you were to play this on a CRT, obviously, but if you don't have a CRT, you can go into the settings of your TV and change it to the correct aspect ratio of 4:3 instead of 16:9. Because when you do play in the widescreen, it is stretching out the image, and sometimes the characters can look like they're a little bit fatter because they're being stretched out. If you do change it to 4:3 aspect ratio, the game will look a lot better. And of course, it's still not going to look as good as it does on a CRT, but it's still, you know, definitely playable. You could also play it on your PlayStation 2 through the component cables, or even play it on your PlayStation 3, which will get a little upgrade to the graphics and stuff. Or if you really want to, I'm pretty sure they have this available digitally, maybe like on the PlayStation 4, you can get it upscale. Now, of course, if you were to play it on an emulator and stuff, which some people do on their computers, you can get amazing updated graphics for this, for the emulator. But still worth checking out and playing on the PlayStation. I have a lot of fun with it. You know, I'm not upset about my images being stretched to that 16:9 on my TV, but it might bother you, so you may want to change it to the 4:3 aspect ratio so you can play it in its true native resolution and its true aspect. But definitely think you guys should check out Darkstone. Fantastic action RPG. I can't wait to finally have this game beat this year. I've been waiting years for it, and now that I have that new fireball spell, you know, I'm getting a lot stronger, and now the game, this challenge has gone down a little bit since I've been able to balance out the crazy enemies' attacks and their health and stuff. So awesome game. I think you guys should check out. And the next game we're going to talk about here is for the Wii U. fantastic game that I have never got a chance to play. Finally want to start playing it this year, and that is Pikmin 3. Now, this is the original version of Pikmin 3. I do know that they released a deluxe version for the Nintendo Switch, which I'd like to pick up someday, but first I wanted to beat the original version. Now, I've owned this digitally for quite a while, but I wanted to pick up the physical copy as well. Sadly now, you know, the eShop for the Wii U is shut down, so you can't buy anything digitally anymore anyways, and the DLC content for this game is gone. I was not able to buy it before they got rid of it, so the only way to get that DLC now is to get it on the Nintendo Switch version. But I'll read you guys some stuff from the back. So, explore an alien world with the help of your Pikmin army. Take command of 3 tiny explorers and a legion of tenacious Pikmin in a fight for survival. Your loyal swarm of Pikmin will battle enemies, build pathways, and collect food to save your depleted home planet. The many shades of Pikmin. Use the unique abilities of each Pikmin type to accomplish different tasks. So you got red Pikmin, which are fire resistant, blue Pikmin, which are water loving, yellow Pikmin, which are shock proof, pink winged Pikmin, which are flying, and you have the new rock Pikmin, which are strong and solid. And you have 3 different characters to play as, which is cool because you can control each one independently and do different tasks around the map and split up and divide and conquer kind of thing, which is cool. You also can use the Wii U's gamepad, which is unique for this version, so you can see the map. You also can see your inventory and stuff down here without having to interrupt the play on the screen, which is cool. And you have your Pictopedia thing on here that gives you information about enemies and items and stuff. And then when the game actually talks to you, it actually talks to you through the Wii U gamepad. So that's really cool, being able to hold this up and talk to somebody. You know, you're sitting there like this, and you look down, it'll tell you when to look, and you actually have a character talking to you on there like it's a little camera thing, which is pretty cool. So I really like that when Wii U games incorporate the gamepad into the gameplay, because not a lot of games utilize the gamepad very much, other than just, oh, you can play the game on the gamepad or you can play it on the TV. But I loved it when games utilized the gamepad and the TV, so you had dual screen. It was very cool, very innovative for its time, and it's sad to see that this kind of technology has just kind of gone to the wayside. But let's check out some Pikmin 3 for the Wii U.
Hey friends, Sleepy here, and today we're taking a look at Pikmin 3. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Pikmin series, but I've never actually got a chance to play Pikmin 3, and I'm playing this on the Wii U. I do own it physically, which I just actually got a few months ago, but I have owned it for several years digitally on my Wii U, but I've never actually taken the time to play it. Now, I've played Pikmins 1 and 2 and beat both of those, but I never got a chance to play Pikmin 3. Now, I do know that it is on the Nintendo Switch. There is a deluxe version, which I would like to get, but I wanted to beat the original Wii U version first before I got the Switch version. I have played the Pikmin 4 demo, and I am planning to eventually get Pikmin 4, and they are releasing physically Pikmins 1 and 2 for the Switch. You can get them digitally right now, but I want to buy them when they come out physically on a cart. And so I'm looking forward to eventually playing through all 4 games on the Nintendo Switch. But I wanted to start out with playing Pikmin 3 since I never got a chance to play. It's a really awesome game. Having a lot of fun with it so far. You have the story mode, you have some missions, that's you have your bingo battle mode. Unfortunately, all the DLC that was available is no longer accessible because they shut down the eShop for the Wii U. So if you don't already own it, unfortunately you can't get it for Wii U. Luckily, if you do get the Switch version, it is on there. I've got a little over 4 hours in the game, and I'm currently on day 11. And I do really love the HD graphics of this. Now, they're not as great as the Nintendo Switch is, and you get a little bit of an upgrade, but it really is hard to tell the difference. especially if you're using the HDMI cable like I am, and I'm playing this on my 4K TV. Now, just like previous Pikmin games, you know, you can go to different areas, and you have to land multiple times because areas have secrets, and they've got collectibles and stuff, and sometimes you just don't have enough time in a day to collect everything, and also sometimes you don't have the right Pikmin or equipment to get into certain areas, so you do have to revisit areas that you have in the past. You can also replay days. If you miss something, then you can redo it and do that. So we're currently on day 11, so let's go back here. Tropical Wilds, and I've got 9 days of juice. It seems that signal originated from this area. That treasure hunting Olimer must be here somewhere. You know, this is the first place I landed on this planet. Was he really here with our key this whole time? Plenty of time for nostalgia later. Let's track down that signal and don't pass up any fruit we see on the way. So the game does have voice acting, however, the characters are speaking in their language and not English, so that's why they are subtitled. I really like that little touch they have in the game. Now what's cool in this one is you actually can play as 3 different characters. So the first one here in blue, he is Alf and he is the engineer. Brittany is in the pink, she's a botanist, and the green guy is Captain Charlie, so he's captain of our squad. We came to this planet because our planet was running out of food, and so we were coming here to PNF 404. It pretty much is a future Earth of our Earth or planet, but after like humans have died out or something, and we're coming here to get food to bring back to our planet. And when we were coming here, we got into an accident, which is always the premise of these Pikmin games. You know, someone's always crashing on these planets, and then you have to use the native Pikmin creatures here to help you with finding food and getting your ship fixed and stuff. So you have your classic, typical story in these games. As you can see, the graphics do look beautiful in HD, especially when compared to the original Pikmin's 1 and 2 on GameCube. Definitely really good. I really like how the Wii U version incorporates the gamepad with the TV, so you can actually play with both, or you can hit a button and just play on the gamepad only, and you would see this on the screen. But I like being able to play with both the TV and the Wii U gamepad because the gamepad acts as your map, so you can look down at the gamepad and see collectibles and stuff on there, see your map. You also have files you can keep track of, your exploration notes about Pikmin and the controls and areas and the logs, different Pikmin types and how many you have. You can tell if they're with you in your squad or if they're working by carrying, or if they're idle, because you do have to bring your Pikmin back before the day ends because every day is timed. Now the days are shorter in this. In the original Pikmin's 1 and 2, they're like 20 some minutes long. I noticed this one, they're only like 13 minutes long, so you do have to work a lot faster in this one. You also have a thing where you keep track of collecting the fruit because you do have to have juice. Now, unlike Pikmin 1, where you had a timer of only 30 days, there really is no time limit. However, you have to have at least 1 juice per day for your characters to consume. So as long as you keep finding fruit, you can just keep playing as long as you want to. As long as you don't run out of juice, you can keep playing the game. And then there's also really cool is you can actually take pictures with the camera, and you actually just have to walk around, and like there's Charlie right there, you can take a picture of him. So it's really neat. You can actually take pictures. I don't remember if the other Pikmin games 1 and 2 had that mode available. So let's call some Pikmin out. So this game does have some new Pikmin introduced, like the rock Pikmin stuff, but you have your classic red and yellow. There are blue Pikmin that I have not got yet, and I'm pretty sure there's also those flying pink Pikmin in this game as well. So let's get out some Pikmin here. And so you have a pretty decent control. You do get kind of used to playing with the gamepad because it's so large. So I haven't played with the gamepad in a while, so it took me a little while to get used to this. But you'll find obstacles and stuff like this where you have to use Pikmin to destroy them. You also have various enemies, and you have different enemy types that need different Pikmin to fight them. You can also earn more Pikmin by finding things like this, where they'll bring it back to the onions, and it'll sprout some more Pikmin for you, for your army, because Pikmin can die if you're not careful. And another thing, too, I noticed that was different about this one is they actually combine the onions. The onions are where the Pikmin live here, and usually in like Pikmin's 1 and 2 and stuff, you would have a separate onion for each of the Pikmin. In this game, after you find them, they combine into one, which is really handy for having everybody in one container and not having to worry so much about finding where other onions are at. So here's something cool where it uses the Wii U gamepad. You can also see it on the screen, but if I look on my Wii U pad, I see that little screen telling me about plucking Pikmin. So pretty cool how they incorporated it right into the game. Not a whole lot of Wii U games actually utilize the Wii U gamepad. You can also choose a different kind of Pikmin you want to use. So like throw them there. They don't look like they can destroy it. Another thing too is cool is you can actually throw a captain if you want. And you can then push the Y button and switch to that captain. And you can actually split up your teams and have them go off and do an adventure or something and take care of things. So sometimes you gotta multitask like that. So let's get all of our people. He's still trying. So we'll have to figure out how to break that wall down. But we can come this way, and we can destroy this dirt one with our red Pikmin. And I love, too, the little voices and the way the Pikmin act. They're funny little creatures. And sometimes they will randomly sing when they're out and about with you, which is pretty cool. Father, still might eat my Pikmin. Get back here. Not doing so well. That was not good. But after you kill enemies, they'll have a certain number that you can need to actually carry them back to the onion. And whatever the main number of Pikmin carrying it, that's the color Pikmin you'll actually get from it. And then here's some fruit for us to bring back. I found a mysterious rock. It doesn't appear to be edible, but it could be useful. I'll keep the Pikmin carrying it separate from the others and use L to select it. So now we figured out how to beat the wall by finding bombs for it that the yellow Pikmin can get. So, pretty cool. You know, you just discover stuff as you play through. If you guys see that little sun icon on the top, that's actually how you keep track of the daytime. And when it gets all the way to the right, you have to then go back to your ship. There'll be a little countdown of 10 seconds, and any Pikmin that aren't with you or in this area where your ship is at will be unfortunately left behind, and they will die. So you got to make sure you get your squad all collected before the day is over. So I just wanted to give you guys a little taste of this. I've definitely got to restart this because I totally messed up that fight with that guy. But it happens sometimes where I accidentally hit the B button, which actually separates your Pikmin, when I'm trying to hit the A button next to it to actually command them to attack. So, you know, just a little learning curve here with the Wii U gamepad. But it's a really awesome game. Highly recommend you guys play the original one if you have a Wii U. If not, you know, definitely play the upgraded version for the Nintendo Switch. But I'm having a lot of fun with Pikmin 3 as I have never got a chance to play or beat it. And I'm looking forward to finally getting a chance to play it this week. And I'm looking forward to beating it this year.
I hope you guys enjoyed that look at Pikmin 3. I'm having a lot of fun. I've got like 8 hours into the game now, and I've gotten further along into the story and the collecting, and I just really love the Pikmin universe. Really fun. Like I said, I played Pikmin's 1 and 2 and beat them, and I'm going to finally beat Pikmin 3. Then eventually I want to get Pikmin 4, and then I do want to buy all the Pikmin 1 and 2 collection when it comes out physically for the Switch, and then I'll buy Pikmin 3 for the Switch, and I want to beat the whole series again on the Nintendo Switch versions. But I absolutely love the Pikmin series. Highly recommend them. They're very awesome games. I definitely think you guys should play them. Especially if you have a Wii U, I would recommend playing the original version of Pikmin 3, just so you can experience playing the game with that cool gamepad. Really awesome and a unique gameplay you won't get anywhere besides the Wii U. Do our little recap. You know, we talked about Darkstone, fantastic action RPG for PlayStation 1. It's been called like the poor man's Diablo, but it's still a really fun game. I think you guys should check out. Definitely worth playing for PlayStation 1, and it's fairly cheap too, so if you like action RPGs, highly recommend you check it out. And Pikmin 3, a fantastic game for Wii U. If you don't have a Wii U, you can still play the Nintendo Switch version, which does have all the DLC, has a little bit of updated graphics, but it still looks amazing on Wii U. With the HDMI cable on a 4K TV, it still looks beautiful. Absolutely love both of these games. Highly recommend you guys check them out. Let me know your guys' thoughts if you played either of these. I'd love to know about the games you guys are currently playing, and if you have a suggestion on any game you think I should play, let me know, as I'm always looking for new games to play and experience. I want to thank you guys for watching. Take care. You guys have an amazing day, and Sleepy will see you next time.